avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded.
Yes, we're using.
Do you want me to read the full privacy statement?
No, thanks. You're fine.
Okay. Good. Right. Welcome to the Sales and Marketing Podcast with me, John Mears, and I am back once again with the Renegade Master. 2018 Dulux Select Decorator of the Year.
These intros
hasn't bothered entering since because, well, you've completed it, really, haven't you?
you've
reached the top.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the one and only Trevor Mangan. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right. How are you lot? Yeah, good to be back. What are we on now? Is this our 9th podcast?
I've no idea, mate, but I do know I speak to you more often than my missus.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But her eyes always glaze over when I start.
Better not. So. Yeah, exactly. We're all very brave when they're not around.
Yeah, exactly.
I went to see a customer the other day, and they were talking about a feature wall, and this woman wanted the feature wall behind the bed, and then she wanted it down one wall. And he said, "I think it'll look rubbish." I said, "Well, it's not going to look great." He said, "Yeah." He said, "When she gets back," he said, "I'm going to tell her that." He said, "I said, blimey, you're brave." I said, "Yeah." When she's not, I'm going to. I said, "You're the first bloke that I've met that's going to tell their wife something." Oh yeah. You're either very brave or very stupid.
Let me guess, you haven't heard back from them since.
Exactly.
Oh dear. Good. Right. Today, cracking straight on, I want to talk about advertising on a budget. How can decorators advertise when they are on a budget? So let's kick things off with my favourite and something I talk about far too much. Social media. I love it. And I think it's a great way to get started for any business, but definitely painting and decorating. What do you think?
There's always these local groups, isn't there, that you get onto, and there's always the same names crop up. So in our around our area, there's 3 or 4 that if someone's looking for a decorator, they always get recommended, and you end up with about 50 or 60 comments on this one post. But what when I've spoken to people about it, they say that people recommend names, but they don't actually put the reason why they were good. Or, the few people I've spoken to said that it'd be worthwhile saying, look, we used Dave the painter. He was on time, he was tidy, but we used him to get his names, people tagging different people into the post. So, yeah, I've never really, I'm talking about Facebook, but I've never really sort of made much headway with Facebook. I've made I've done far better with Google My Business. That's way, although that takes a little bit more time to build up, and Google My Business has definitely worked better for me than Facebook ads, or not Facebook ads, but Facebook forums.
Which again is free, isn't it? You can set up your Google My Business storefront, I think they call it. You set that up via just the Google homepage. You put all your details in. You can add photos and stuff like that, can't you? And it means that when people search in your area for what you're doing, you are a lot more visible. You come up much higher on Google, and you get that little listing it's on the side of the Google page, isn't it? And you get the pictures pop up and everything like that.
Yeah, I found you can't beat companies like Checkatrade and all that for being on the first page of Google. But if you get Google My Business, that's very easy. The easy way to get on the first page of Google without trying too hard. All you got to do is treat it like you would Facebook to a degree by keep posting stuff on your Google My Business page. So you just keep updating it. You'll know more about this than me, but for SEO and stuff like that. And also what I found is once you get above 10 reviews, it seems to take off even more.
Really?
Yeah, once you hit 10 reviews, that seems to be their threshold to take you a bit more seriously.
Well, that's a good top tip straight. Flying today, Trev. We're not usually this useful. It's helpful, are we? So, setting up a Google My Business is go to google.com, and from the homepage you can set all that up.
I think if you've got a Google account like Gmail or something like that, up at the top corner, you've got those 9 dots or whatever. Yeah. If you click on there, it will take you to. It will say Google My Business in one of those icons.
Yeah, I've got one, and I set it up. I can't say I do much with it. I don't put many photos on it, but I focus more time on social media. But for a decorator, I think that's a great way to immediately get yourself high up on Google. And I think it'd be worth then, if that's right about the getting 10 reviews, as soon as you set it up, get the link and send that link to some of your old customers.
Exactly.
Say, hey, can you just put me a quick review on here? Get that kick started, and away you go. And yeah, the whole SEO thing is Google will always favour the main criteria for search is what's most relevant and what's most up to date. So if someone's searching for painter and decorator in Alton, then at the top of the page will be the person who, well, it'd be everyone who's a painter and decorator in Alton, but then it will order it on who's updating their website most often, which website looks most current. And so if you're constantly putting new photos and stuff on your My Google page, then that's going to bring you even higher up.
Yeah, no, I found like I say, it does work well. I'll get quite a few customers say, "Oh yeah, I found you on Google or Google My Business," or that's But yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing wrong with Facebook ads, but I just don't seem to get much traction on Facebook. I mean,
because I think the Facebook groups, I think are an absolute goldmine if you treat them right. So yeah, there's two things. You'll have those typical posts where someone will go, right, I'm looking for a painter and decorator, and then, as you say, there were 60 comments recommending 3 or 4 different people. A lot of decorators I speak to will moan about that because often it's those sort of jobs that don't really go anywhere. It's someone who's looking for a tosher, a paint slapper, to do some £100 a day, slap it on or whatever. But when you do it the other way and you start putting information about your own business in those groups, which can be tricky, but you can do it. It's good to have a conversation with the admins of groups because often they won't let you advertise in there, but you can do other things. I mean, for example, in my hometown, there's a decorator who he's just always there. He's always posting memes or funny things or whatever. And because of it, everybody in the town knows who he is. They know who he is and that he's a decorator.
Yeah.
He never posts anything decorating related, but I know who he is, and nearly everyone else in the town knows who he is, just because every time he posts, it says Mr. XYZ, painter and decorator. So I think just being active on a regular basis in local groups and stuff like that can be a great way to boost your, the brand awareness, as it were.
Yeah.
I think do you on your personal social media? I think you do a lot of work for other decorators, don't you? So I think a lot of your followers and connections are other decorators.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that I think a lot of decks fall down on. They go on social media and they end up just following other decorators because they like looking at their work and like getting the approval of other decorators, and then wonder why they don't get anything out of social media. I think you've got to make the effort to start reaching out to people in your target audience, really, haven't you?
Well, I tell you what I read the other day that I found quite interesting as well was to set up a Facebook group for your customers.
Yeah.
Or a WhatsApp group for your customers. So that, I mean, I don't know whether that'd work or not, but
I think, anywhere that you can collect your customers, and a Facebook group is a great way to do that. I mean, you can see that the power of it. You started your Facebook group owning a decorating business, and that's brought together a lot of people that are very useful collection of people for some of the things you're doing. And I've tried the same. I've got my own group on Facebook. I don't be afraid to try these sort of things. When I first set mine up, I thought, oh, what if no one joins? And then you're like, who cares, really? I don't care if there's 10 people or 10,000 people in there. As long as there's a few people in there and you don't bombard them with messages all the time. I think people are happy to be in those little groups.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I don't know what the. I suppose it'd be the same if you had a Facebook group of your customers. I suppose it'd be the same as if you're email marketing, just put information in there that you think would be useful to the group.
Yeah, exactly. I think, email marketing that's on my list, so maybe we talk about that next. I think email marketing is something that's massively underused by decorators.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is free. All you've got to do is start collecting your customer email addresses and just keep in touch with them. We've spoken about this before. Decorators will offer exceptional service, go way above and beyond when they do the job, and then there'll be zero contact for 6-12 months or whatever it is, and then the customer calls back, they go around, they do another job, and they do another job brilliantly well. But those sort of 6-12 months in between, just keeping a little bit of contact with them via email once a month, once every couple of months, whatever it is, I think that can be hugely powerful in making sure that you keep hold of all of your customers and keep a bank of good quality regular customers.
And if you struggle for content, thinking, well, what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about? You can set up Google Alerts, can't you? Because I know you've said, have you done? Because we spoke about that, didn't we? Before.
Yeah, that was a Trev top tip. You got me to do that.
One podcast, blimey. I'll go to sleep in a minute.
Yeah, I set up Google Alerts. Again, you just do that from the Google homepage, and you basically set up some keywords that basically whenever something interesting, including those words, pops up on the internet, usually obviously in news articles and stuff like that, Google will send you well, I have it set as a daily digest, so once a day at 7 p.m. I set it. Anything that's got the word wall murals or wallpaper or paint or durable paint or Farrow & Ball, Little Green, all of those little things, I set up alerts for those, and once a day they'll basically send me a list of articles all about interior design and new wallpaper trends and stuff like that. And that is gold content that you can just either share it on social media or, as you say, start putting it in monthly or a couple of weekly emails that you send out, and just keeps you in touch and just it's just something else you can do for your customers where you're not trying to sell to them. You're just trying to go, here you go, I thought you might be interested in this sort of thing because I did a wallpaper job for you 2 months ago, or whatever it is.
And not only that, it also, if you do read through those those headings of what you get sent, sometimes it gives you an idea of something that, it just sparks that little bit of, I know a story about that. That'll be funny. And you can write, you can just relate a story or something. But those Google Alerts are very good. Apart from don't do what I've done and put home office, because I thought, it's going to be a big boom in people working from home office. And all I keep getting through is stuff about illegal immigrants from the Home Office.
Yeah. Also, don't put anything about like busty babes in your local area, because you'll get loads of content about that, which you might be into, but it's probably going to overload your inbox. Right. So, social media. What about Instagram? Haven't you found Instagram works for you?
I got one, to be fair, I got one from a local builder once years ago that saw our Instagram post and invited me to go and sort of tender for 5 houses. But I went over there and had a look at it, but it's not really our cup of tea. So I think we were too expensive. But yeah, we're not really. I
know some decorators who get like nearly all of their work from Instagram or Facebook, but particularly Instagram seems to be massive for a lot of decorators at the moment, and they'll just post daily content on what they're up to, what jobs they're working on, and then obviously before and after photos, or before during and after photos, and they can be so powerful that if you build up a bank of the right sort of followers and not just other decorators, then you can start getting a lot of work through it.
Yeah.
So what about, you did mention briefly Facebook ads. So if we move into paid advertising rather than the free social media, is that something you've tried yourself?
Yeah, but not very successfully. But you do mention in your new book that, you see what I did there?
Hey. This is why I invite you on.
John's got a new book out called Advertise for Decorators, and in there he goes through Facebook ads quite deeply, and it just proves you don't have to spend an absolute fortune to get results, do you?
No, I think Facebook ads are one of the biggest bargains in the marketing world right now. You can reach so many people and so many highly targeted people as well. You can really drill down on exactly who you put these adverts in front of. The information Facebook has on people is scary, but it's great for making sure you advertise to the right people.
Yeah, it's great for selling books.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, I always have adverts running for my books, and often I'll just be running at £2 a day or something like that, just to keep a little presence bubbling along. Most decorators will see one of my ads once a week or every few days or so. They'll just see one of my adverts pop up in their timeline or feed. So I think people get worried about Facebook ads, and I think a lot of people try Facebook ads and they just hurriedly put together a quick advert, bosh a load of money into it, get no results, and then give up on it. And I think if you take a bit more time,
that's my experience.
Yeah. If you take a bit more time, think it through, plan it out a bit, do a bit of research, whether it's reading my book or reading the millions of articles online that's free. I mean, there's free stuff on my website that will help you with Facebook ads, and just start trying it at £2 a day, £1 a day. Just start going and see what happens. And it doesn't take a lot. I know people that will do once a month, they'll do a £10 campaign, and that'll get them 3 or 4 jobs for the next month. And they just do that month in, month out. It's just a really reliable and easy stream of business, and it doesn't have to cost much. You just got to be a bit persistent with it and work out what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, I think it's a lot like email marketing. It's quite a big step for people to take, but I think once they've taken it and they realise, well, maybe it's not that bad, and you start getting a few results from it, then you think, well, you may then look into it a bit more and then refine it and be able to make it pay even better for you.
And this is it. And I mean, for me, it's probably one of the cheapest marketing things to test, because you could do a month of testing for £30. It's not like parish magazines or anything like that where you got to sign up for a 6-month commitment and whatever it might be, or you don't have to get 10,000 leaflets printed or anything like that. You can really go small on Facebook ads and just really test it out gently. But I think, like you did, people go, right, here we go, let's throw some money at it. Get this done, sorted. Oh shit, nothing's happened. Wow, Facebook's a load of rubbish. Let's not do that again.
And the scary thing is, Facebook will let you spend hundreds of pounds on it. They won't stop you. They will encourage you, but they won't say, "Oh, well, hang on a minute." I must have spent £500, if not more, on Facebook ads. Mm-hmm. And you think, what? And I've got barely anything back. I certainly didn't get the £500 back. So
I think the thing that catches out a lot of people is they don't start advertising until they've got no work. So they wait until they're quiet, and then they go, oh no, I've got to get some work fast. So they just start throwing money at things. Whereas if you start advertising when you're busy, but just testing things out at like £2 a day or whatever you want on Facebook ads, then if you do get to a point where you're quiet, then you're already well ahead of the game, and you realise, actually, I've only got to spend £10, and I'll almost certainly get a job out of that, because I'm getting reasonable amount of inquiries at £2 a day. So, but if you wait until you've got no work, then you will panic. You'll spend too much. You'll do it wrong, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah, because you're desperate for a result.
Yeah, exactly.
And anything is better than nothing. So
you just try and shortcut the whole process because you're desperate for work, and that never works.
And this goes back to what we said before, I think, is to try and dedicate at least half a day a week to do something that's not related to picking up a brush and putting paint on a wall. Concentrate on your business for at least half a day a week, so that you don't find yourself, I know it's easier said than done, and you're going to think, oh yeah, of course, but I think you will within a month. You'll definitely see the benefits of having 4 or 5 hours of a Friday afternoon or a Monday morning or whatever, and dedicating it, and it'll just make you a little bit more professional, and you'll start treating you like more like a business rather than a job.
Yeah, and that is spot on. And I was speaking to JG Decorator, Jonathan Graham, about this exact thing. And I know you all like to try and take a half day and do like some solid admin work, won't you?
Yeah.
He works it into his schedule by basically he's got his notebook with all of his admin to do things. And he will break it down to 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. So when he's having a cup of tea or something, 10 o'clock tea break, he'll just try and knock one or two jobs just off that list. So you don't have to go, right, I'm going to book off every third Friday as an admin day. If you're put some effort in and organise yourself and just build a list of all the things you've got to do on a monthly basis or weekly basis or whatever, you can just knock those tasks off one at a time in 10, 15-minute chunks.
Or even that, even if it means getting up an hour earlier in the mornings to get it done before you go to work. You know, do that 3 mornings. You've nearly got half a day. You know, you've got 3 hours every other day, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You've got your 3 hours there. That was going to make a big difference to the way you work.
You sound just like my dad. I've never been a morning person, and my dad always used to take the piss out of me for it. But yeah, he was that dad that even if I woke up at 6 a.m., he'd go, "What you been doing? Day's half gone, boy." Like, 6 a.m.
Yeah, I think to be honest, John, it's an old age thing. The older you get, the earlier you get up. I think I think it's because you want to make the most of your life that's left.
Oh, time's running out. Best
yeah, exactly.
Earlier.
Yeah. Better make these hours count. Yeah.
You know, I think looking on social media. In fact, I know from looking at my email analytics and my social media analytics, the decorators seem to start getting up at about 5 in the morning, because I get a peak in my analytics between 5 and 8 o'clock in the morning, which is clearly when decorators are waking up and checking their phones and stuff. So
that's why we set our podcast for 6 o'clock on a Monday morning, so you can download it from 6 o'clock. That seemed to be about the right time. Yeah.
I started scheduling these for 2 o'clock in the morning. I thought, God knows when these decorators are waking up. I think they get up and go to work just before they fall asleep or something.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Where were we? Sorry. Yeah. So Facebook ads, definitely worth a go, and try it when things are good, not when you're desperate for work.
Yeah.
Leaflets.
Oh, I love
leaflets.
Where are they? There you go. They're my leaflets.
For everyone listening on the podcast, Trev is
not very. Yeah, just showing the camera. Sorry, guys.
I had a look on Vistaprint, which is not great quality or anything like that, and I would typically advise going to a local printer if you can, and put a bit more. But if you are on a budget, Vistaprint are doing £10 for 1,000, which is insanely cheap.
All I would say with Vistaprint is get someone to check what you've designed, because otherwise you end up with 500 business cards that say TJ painting and decorating. I forgot the T on painting. I don't even have got one. I had loads at one time. Yeah, they all said bloody painting on them.
TJ painting and decorating. I think. I mean, A5, A6 leaflets. You can get them mass printed so cheap nowadays. Let's have a look at this.
Especially for the podcast listeners. Can you see that?
TJ painting and decorating. Beautiful. That is beautiful. It looks like a decent quality card as well.
Exactly. It was. It was double-sided. It was lovely. Look, but yeah.
Idiot.
I got painting one side and painting the other. So it can happen.
You can't give those out, especially as one of the bullet points on there is eye for detail.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ignore the spelling mistake, but trust me, I'm very detail oriented.
Yeah. I used to put my thumb over where the T should have been. There you go. We've all done it. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone messes up. So leaflets. I think you've got a few options with leaflets. Personally, I'm a big fan of, and I know that you do this, keeping a stack in the van.
Yeah.
When you've got a bit of time on a job, popping up and down the street that you're on. But you do something else as well, don't you? For the immediate neighbours?
For the immediate neighbours, I write a letter. Put it in an envelope and put it through the door. And just say, we're working at, I don't know, number 16. If you've got, we'll be sanding and we'll be making a noise. If we're in the way with our vans, then let us know. We'll do the best to, move out of the way for you. We'll be sanding. If we're making a noise and you've got young children or you work nights, let us know and we'll work around. So it's really just a matter of creating a good impression. And it's really good when the neighbours talk to your customer and you don't tell the customer that you've given these letters out to the neighbours and they think you're brilliant. They, that was really considerate. And so the immediate neighbours, we always give these, there's not got to be too much, just basically, be a bit understanding, a bit considerate to their neighbours, really.
Lovely mood. And it's one of those things that if you put the letter through like that, they'll put up with whatever noise you're making, which they probably can't hear anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But they'll never call you and tell you to keep it down.
No, I've never ever had anybody call me about it, but I know I've had quite a few neighbours talk to my customers about them. So
yeah, I had an exterior customer of mine. Every time he would do any house, when he's doing the power washing or the cleaning down or anything like that, he would then make a point of, after he's done that, he would go to the neighbours on both sides and clean their windows for free. Where he would just say, right, hey, I've just done some cleaning, some power washing, so just in case there's some little spray that's gone onto your windows, I'm going to clean those for you. And we'd take the opportunity then to obviously give his business card to the neighbours as well. There was never any overspray on the windows, but it was just he's always got his ladders out or whatever it is, and he could do that very quickly, give the windows a wipe down, and then he's nicely given his business card to both neighbours on each side.
Yeah.
And the amount of work he'd then get from it was just always kept him going. So little things like that, it's often just thinking slightly outside of the box.
Yeah.
And you can get a lot more business out of any given job that you're on.
The thing is just to try and think of the things that nobody else would do. That's the way I look at it. What aren't other people doing, and then do that thing. I mean, they might not be doing it for a reason. It might be, a bloody stupid idea. But unless you tried it, you don't know, do you?
You got to try these things. That's and we've spoken about this before. Just take action. Just do it. Just try it and see what happens. Not every idea is going to be a winner. Not every idea is going to be a Trev top tip. But
there's a good time. A few times you're going to look a bit of an idiot, but you've done it and you know not to do it again. So.
And we're both experts in looking like idiots. I don't.
Oh, absolutely,
anymore, do we? Parish magazines, newspaper, local ads, and stuff like that. You can get these starting from like £30 a month.
Yeah,
have you done this? Do you get any success from it?
I've got a couple of parish magazines, and I think they're very hard. They're very hard when you initially go into a parish magazine because like you're new. Yeah. But once a few people have used you, and you get a bit of reputation around the villages, and that it's a good sort of like steady earner. You do get inquiries because the people that get parish magazines are of a certain demographic, aren't they? And once you can get your foot in the door with those sort of people, you're pretty much not set for life, but you're pretty much guaranteed that you're going to get, if you do a good job, you're going to get repeat business.
Do you know, I was speaking to a guy the other day, and he specializes in high-end work, and he advertises in like these proper country home and horsey toffee type magazines that are a reasonably expensive subscription, and they're all for people with massive homes and stables and stuff like that. He advertises in those and has done for a long time. And he has had a number of inquiries come through those where the person has rang up the magazine and said, how long has this company been advertising in your magazine? And they'll go, well, since 1990 by the look of it. And he goes, so they're a good quality company. Yeah, thank you. I'll give them a ring.
Blimey.
So
yeah.
I think there is, I mean, that might be an exceptional case, but
I
think there is something that just being in that magazine on a consistent basis, it will start to compound and have a bigger and bigger effect. And you've got to remember, a lot of people that read these magazines on every week or every month or whatever it is, they're not going to be ready for a decorator the first time they see your advert. But if they see your advert every month for 6 months, at some point they will be ready to make that call, and they'll go, well, there's TJ decorating in the magazine as usual. He's been advertising there for years, so clearly he's not some fly-by-night company.
Well, maybe that's another reason to have a somewhere on your advertising, have a established 19 whenever, established 1970 or whatever, and then just so you got that extra bit of perhaps people. I never actually saw the value in that, but maybe there is some value to have that on your
I always think you need to be quite careful in a lot of sales materials and adverts and stuff like that. I think you should be very careful not to waste space or waste your lines by saying, oh, we're 30 years man and boy decorating team. But if it's like incorporated into your logo, established 1987 or whatever it might be, then I think that's a great way to just slip that in and make people think, okay, this is someone that's been around the block, knows what they're doing. They're clearly not going anywhere. And it gives that trust and credibility, doesn't it?
Or even if you've got photographs from 10 or 20 years ago, maybe start putting them on your website, so it shows that you've been around. You were going around in a Mark 1 Transit or something. That sort of thing. So you can see that you've got a little bit of history.
Or so just take a photo of your latest job and put a black and white filter on it,
and make it all sepia.
Yeah, and just let people assume that you've been decorating since 1947. Okay, so Parish Magazine's good, reasonably cheap monthly payments, but you need to stick with it. Yeah. What about? And I'm a big fan of the community between decorators. I think decorators are very good at helping each other out. Majority of cases. So calling other local decorators, I think you'll often get quite a warm response. And if you're short of work, it probably means that there's another decorator in your town with too much work, and you can building connections with other local tradesmen. It might be just getting to know the local sparky or plasterer or whatever can lead you to getting a few more referrals and a bit more work.
Well, I'm saying like a bloody. I read somewhere where
nobody's going to believe that you've been.
No, I know. I've been doing.
You saw on YouTube.
I've been a lot of reading, but the idea is that you get like a group of you together, like a Sparky, a Chippy, a plasterer maybe, and what you do is get a little directory together. So when you give out your quotes, you all agree to put this little directory on your quote. So because customers are always looking for different bits and pieces of carpet, carpet fitters, kitchen fitters, that sort of thing. So on your quote as a sheet, you put other trades I recommend. So you put all these on your quote, and then all the other people put your details on their quotes. So when they're giving out quotes to customers, there's this little sort of handy sheet for the customer to keep with your name on. Now I've always thought that's quite a good idea.
I think that's a good idea, especially then, because...
Would that qualify as a top tip?
Go on, I'll give you that as a top tip.
Three
in one show. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because it also means that you can... Oh, have I lost my picture?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, well, I'll keep talking.
Yeah,
so I think that's a good top tip. I've completely lost my train of thought now because I've lost my.
No, I think it's I do think that because you do know other trades, and it's just you just got to be reassured that they're going to recommend you on their quotes. But it's just a good way to get in front of new customers that you don't know.
I know what I was going to say now. because the camera's back on now. You can also be quite selective on who you're putting on those sheets then, so you can make sure you're recommending that chippy and that plasterer that actually does good work. You don't mind following. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't put anyhow. You would be very, it would be people that you would normally recommend anyway. But because if you can get sort of like 5 or 10 other trades, you'll be getting, your name will be in front of, a load more customers that you may never even have got in front of. So, especially,
I think that's a good idea. That's straight in as a Trev top tip. We'll have that one.
Brilliant. I mean, especially being a decorator, because the chances are, I think you've got more chance of getting business because very rarely are they going to want a kitchen fitter, and you're always going to be following other trades. So there's more of a chance of them wanting a decorator than there is of going to be wanting an electrician, or a plumber, or I just think you stand a game. I think you stand a game more out of it than other trades.
Yeah, because you're last. You're the finishers, aren't you? So you're always swooping in and making it all look good. What we got next? Van sign writing. Now, getting that done straight away might be a little bit. If we're going to go budget version, I quite like these magnetic signs that you can get for your van. I don't think they're as good as proper sign writing on your van, but I think they're a great option, and you can take them off, which is great, and take them in your house, and only don't use them on the weekends or whenever you want to go undercover. I don't know what you decorators do when you're not painting, but
I'll tell you what I've seen other people do with vans is to get a signboard put in their back window, and then it doubles up as a signboard and advertising in the back window of the van when they're driving around.
Ooh, I like that.
So you get.
That's definitely a Trev top tip.
Jeez, I think it's going to be my last podcast.
Got to be. End it on high. Yeah, so getting some sort of signage on your van, and doubling it up with signboards. I think that's something you can get done reasonably cheap. Again, I think Vistaprint do that sort of thing, or you can find a local printer.
Signboards are the thing to go. They are the thing to do. They really are. They get you business, without a doubt.
Definitely. What else have we got? Speaking to local merchants, I always think it's a good idea to get a bit of a relationship going with your local merchant, which most decorators do anyway, because you like having someone to go in and chat to and have a coffee, don't you?
Yeah,
you're allowed to
absolutely.
do that. But if you can get to a point where you can leave a few business cards behind the counter and get the people in the decorator centre recommending you to homeowners, I think that's another lovely little stream of customers you get.
I think if you're honest with them and going there and say, look, I'm gonna, in a couple of weeks I haven't got a lot of work coming in, they are normally, really good at sort of looking after you, because it's in their interest, isn't it? Because if you've got no work, you won't be going in there. But if you have got work, you're going to be going in there to get your materials and stuff like that. So I do think that if you do let them know, because as decorators, what you got on? Oh yeah, I've got loads. Sometimes just be honest and say, no, I haven't got a lot, and it can work in you. It's happened to me a few times. No, I've sort of next couple of weeks is after. I've got 2 weeks and I haven't really got a lot on. I will see what I've got, and people do try and help you out, because especially other decorators or other trades, because they know they've been in that situation as well. They know what it's like, so they do tend to help you out and look after you.
This is it. I've seen it on more than one occasion. Whenever a decorator has got the balls to step up and go, do you know what, things are quiet at the moment, I need some help. The amount of support that pours in, and this is just what I see on social media and stuff like that, is amazing. So don't be afraid to just go, do you know what, I'm a bit quiet at the moment, I need some help, and see what people can do, because like I say, it's a lot of people will do it because it's a nice thing to do, but also it's in a lot of people's interests. As you say, merchants and me in my capacity working for a paint manufacturer, we spend a lot of time and money and effort on doing things that helps decorators use more paint and get more jobs and everything like that, because ultimately if we're doing stuff that helps decorators stay busy, they buy more paint, and
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
that helps us. So helping decorators is in people's interest.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I think sometimes, you just got to fight that urge. Just oh yeah, I've got loads on, and just say no,
Yeah.
I'm not. And you'll be surprised how many people, like you say, you'll be surprised how much help and support there is out there for you.
Definitely. What about what about things like reaching out to people, calling and emailing people directly? I'm thinking schools, colleges, estate agents, that sort of thing. Again, it's free. If you've not got much work on, or if you're having an admin day, then spending an hour reaching out to 5 or 6 different businesses and schools and things like that. Have you had much work from those sort of things over the past?
I did get into sort of working for a lettings company, but that was hard work. It wasn't hard work. The initial bit was hard work. Was actually getting your foot in the door. But once I started working for them, it was good. But that is sort of like a long term. I think you're talking months rather than weeks to get into a. What you got to do is with lettings and for schools and stuff like that is just be there when they're let down by someone.
Yeah.
So that so if someone lets them down or they can't turn up and they give you a call, then you're there and you can do it, and that's your opportunity to, shine. So
yeah, you've got to be Johnny on the spot and
get
in there and save the day.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a. I think you've got to have that on a sort of that's on the back burner sort of thing. That's not going to be a quick win, get you sort of a quick job. That's going to be something that's in the background simmering away, and you're just waiting for your opportunity to shine.
Yeah, I think you can do work to sow the seeds for it gently, and you can do that when you're busy, and then once you get into schools, colleges, letting agents and estate agents especially, that's just there is an endless stream of work there.
There is,
and it's just once you've got those relationships, it'll be much quicker for if you're in a tight spot, you can just go in and go, right, what you got on today, tomorrow, whatever. I've got some time free. You'll almost certainly need a house painting yesterday for a new tenant or something like that. So what have you got? Once you've got that relationship, you've got a steady stream of work available, and schools can be great, especially for over the summer and stuff like that when they do big projects.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you can think of that works as a decorator when you need to advertise on a budget?
We've pretty much done a leaflet. I think we've pretty much done everything, haven't we?
All right. The other thing that I will say is combining all of these tactics. I think when you do more than one advertising stream at once, you get a result that is bigger than the sum of its parts. I think when you've got your van sign written, and so people see your van buzzing around town, and then they get a leaflet through the door, and then they see you on a social media Facebook group and stuff like that. That constant presence, I think when they all work together, you can start building a lot of awareness and start getting people to really know who you are much quicker if you're doing 2 or 3 things at once.
One more before we go, which I know it's quite American, and I know they're quite big into it, is and I don't think it's a very British thing, but I'll put it out there. Cold calling on estates. I know probably not now with COVID and all that, but hopefully in a few months when we all get back to the new normal. Is that, I mean, I don't know if that would work or not, where you knock on someone's door and I've noticed that, or I'm in the area. Is it sort of like, has it got a hint of sort of like, the people that cut your hedge the other day?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Door canvassing, I think, can still be really effective, but I think most people would need to hire someone to do it. it's quite a specialised sales skill to do that, and with the best will in the world, unless you have done a lot of sales, you will struggle with getting doors slammed in your face like that, because you're going to have to knock on a lot of doors to get a result, and it takes a special mindset to do it. But you can hire door canvassers and just say, right, this is the situation, go and target this new estate and go and get me some leads.
And you might be surprised to hear, but Everest built their whole business on that model, haven't they? That's all they ever use, is cold calling customers.
Yeah, and a number of companies do. And although it can seem, in a digital world, it can seem quite outdated, and a lot of people really think that knocking on doors and cold calling like that just shouldn't be done nowadays. But it's still massively effective when done properly. You've got to, if someone was going to go down that road, unless you're really quite strong-willed and you've got a good mindset for it, I would probably look at hiring someone to do it for you, and then think about the areas where you want to target. So do you want to go for new estates where everybody moving in is probably going to want to decorate because it's a brand new house or something like that? Or do you want to focus on exterior projects because you can tell whether an exterior needs doing as you're walking past? So whether you're doing masonry stuff or you're doing timber window frames or anything like that, you can pick and choose those houses and go, right, I was working down the street and noticed that your windows are in XYZ condition. Here's my card. Let me know if we can do any work for you.
I mean, this is why maybe it could be worth testing the water, and maybe seeing if it is for you by just starting off in the road where you're working. So and you could say, I've been working at number da da da. As I've drove past, as I drove to work in the morning, or as I drove past at night, I noticed. So at least you've got a little bit in common with, and you've got a reason to be there.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
It gives you a little bit more of a story and a bit more honesty and confidence to actually break that, knock at the door. And it also, you could actually make out that you were doing them a favour by noticing it for them. So,
and that is exactly as you said. The guy that came and cut my hedge the other day, he was working down the road and he finished by about 11 o'clock on his second day, and my front hedge was a complete mess. So he took the opportunity and came in and knocked on the door, and I ended up getting him to do it. And because it was one of those things, he was already in the area. I could see some work that he'd just done because I'd seen him working on someone else local in their hedge. He could see from the outside clearly that mine needed some work, and he took the opportunity and got the job out of it in the end. So if you've got the balls to do it, then it's definitely worth a go. And testing it yourself on a few local places when you've got something in common and a reason to knock on someone's door. Why not give it a go?
And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be comfortable, but it may be profitable. So that's the thing you've got to keep in mind, that you may get another job out of it, and it may be the person that knows someone with £1 million house that wants all that. You just don't know. It's got to be worth. The worst they can do is tell you to fuck off.
And that is the worst that could happen, and you just have to brush that off. But I guess another way you could do it that might be a bit easier to sort of build yourself up to that sort of thing is if you're driving past a site where you're seeing some building work going on at a different property or something like that, waltz in, see if you can find the head honcho, have a chat to the site manager and just say, look, this is me, I'm a decorator. You've probably got decorators lined up for this project, but let me introduce myself, because if you're a local builder, you're going to have more and more projects like this, aren't you? So and make a few connections that way. Walking up onto site and introducing yourself.
And I think people will think a lot more of you for actually taking that step, and because I think I can pretty much guarantee no other decorator's done that, because they all want to stay in their comfort zone.
Yeah,
and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes it does pay dividends to just step out of your comfort zone for 5 minutes take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just go for it.
That's it. Just do it and see what happens. The worst that can happen is they say no. But yeah, no, it's all good. I think that's a good episode there, mate. We've had lots of Trev top tips.
I know. I can't believe it.
So we'll just recap. So advertising on a budget. We've got social media, Facebook groups, particularly Instagram, also very effective. Facebook ads, very cheap way of hitting a lot of people. Leaflets, parish magazines, contacting other decks and other trades, magnetic signs, site boards and signs for your van, getting a relationship with your local merchant, putting your cards on the counter, contacting schools, estate agents, and email marketing.
Yeah.
I think we've done that. If you can't
cold
call him, of course. Walk up onto site, knock on people's doors. Don't be afraid. I think that's a good little roundup there. I think if you can't get some business out of those tips, then you're in the wrong business.
Try Tesco's.
Yeah. Trev, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Where can we find more about you?
Insta at TJ Decorating and YouTube Paint and Decorating Tips by TJ.
Super. You're getting much smoother at that. We'll have it nailed down at some point. And the podcast, Two Decks with One Mic, is back, bigger and better than ever.
Yes, upsetting Dulux and all sorts of other people.
Yeah, no, it's quality, and you mentioned me on it a lot, so thank you for that.
Well, exactly.
Usually saying that fucking idiot again. That's all good. If anyone wants to get more from me, check out my website, jmears.co.uk/ebook, and you can get a free digital copy of my book, 7 Marketing Secrets Guaranteed to Grow Your Painting and Decorating Business. So join my mailing list and get that free of charge. Trev, once again, thank you very much. We shall see you soon.
Cheers, John. Take care.
Cheers. See ya.